everyone, this is Big Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video review, and we're going to talk about Thunderbolts once more and go over the box office figures for its opening weekend of release within cinemas, covering Friday the 2nd of May to Monday the 5th of May 2025. Now there could be spoilers here for the movie itself and also for all other movies and TV series for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so just beware when going into this overall video. You can also check out both my non-spoiler and spoiler review of the film, and I'll leave a link within the description. So we'll then get straight into it then in terms of the numbers, and in the United States, the movie debuted at number 1 with an opening of around $76 to $78 million, dethroning the previous champ Sinners, which continues to set records with its holds over its second and third weekends. Internationally, Thunderbolts grossed an estimated $86 million to give the film an overall global take of around $162 million. So then, what do all of these numbers mean? Well, it depends on your perspective. Once more, this result puts the MCU under the spotlight again, and its continued decline following the underperformance of Captain America Brave New World, which was released earlier this year, and that film barely crossed over $400 million worldwide, and when that film was released, it had an opening of around $88 million over a 3-day weekend. So if we compare to that movie, which was considered a flop, then Thunderbolts could also be perceived in that same manner. And that narrative is currently doing the rounds, particularly on social media. But we could look at this another way and ask, how much exactly would you have expected a Thunderbolts movie to make? This is a movie involving very much the D-list, maybe even lower than that, comic book characters, and also characters that were at best supporting ones for the OG Avengers and their movies, or within the Disney Plus shows. So as with Brave New Worlds, this was a project that no one was really asking for, even the more dedicated MCU fans. We look at a movie that there was very little hype or interest in, with no real significance or bearing in terms of where the MCU is currently heading. So I'd actually say that a $76 million take for a Thunderbolts film is actually quite good. For anybody who disagrees, I would ask the question again, how much exactly would you expect this film to rake in? If we all accept that the MCU is well past the peak of its powers, where during Phase 3 especially, movies were making a minimum of around $800 million to $1 billion worldwide. If we're well past that phase, then I would say that I was actually surprised that Thunderbolts made as much as it did. Whether it was down to, first of all, the extensive marketing, which included, I believe, around 4 trailers and lots of behind the scenes featurettes, and also the second reason due to the substantial amount of positive reviews, which at this current stage is actually a rarity for Marvel. Now, whilst you can dismiss the all too obvious hyperbole shill reviews stating that this film puts Marvel back on top, generally the film was viewed as mildly enjoyable and entertaining, many people praising the actors' performances and also the character dynamics. So no, this obviously wasn't nowhere near the massive performance of Deadpool and Wolverine, but at the same time it's also not the disaster of, let's say, the likes of the Marvels. Now of course a lot will depend on the second and third weekends. Now we can safely say we won't be expecting any huge holds as what we've seen with the likes of Sinners. We could also project that the positive word of mouth and reviews may give Thunderbolts a better chance of having a higher hold for the second weekend than what we saw with Brave New World. If it can have anything less than a 60% drop in its second weekend, that may give the film a very good chance of reaching at least $200 million domestically. But in terms of worldwide, I'd say at this stage that in terms of Thunderbolts, we're probably looking at a final take of around $400 to $500 million, which again, for a Thunderbolts movie, not an Avengers one, isn't a travesty. Now, it's also not the desired result for Marvel, who desperately want the franchise to return to its glory days, but I really wouldn't use Thunderbolts as a barometer for where the franchise is at. Now, a more telling indicator will be Fantastic Four First Steps, which opens in cinemas on July the 25th. Being the first entry of Phase 6 and the lead up to Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, that was clearly indicated by the second ending credits within Thunderbolts, where we see the Fantastic Four ship heading to Earth, presumably into the current MCU timeline from their alternate timeline, where we assume that Galactus will consume their world and they will make some sort of last gasp escape. Now, there's much more of a substantial amount riding on Fantastic Four this time around, And at this point, I'm not assured that it will actually make more than James Gunn's Superman as what I was 2 months ago, but of course we will wait and see. So in the end, Thunderbolts just ended up performing like a mid-tier Phase 2 movie. Now yes, you can cement the argument once more that we are in superhero decline and fatigue, that the MCU is very much coming to an end. And yes, I would agree with that sentiment, but not because of the performance of Thunderbolts, just because I think overall in terms of the trajectory and the fact that we're bringing all of the old actors back for both Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, it is a massive sign of desperation and also admission that Marvel realises that the franchises is not heading as to where they would like it, and that bringing all of the old G characters back is just really one big massive final swing before we see the universe eventually come to an end and also rebooted. So there's my overall thoughts and feelings when looking at the box office performance of the Thunderbolts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any other further suggestions, movies, or any other topics within the pop entertainment and culture scene that you'd like to see me cover within this channel, then also let me know within the comments and I'll see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you more quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.